Chef Steve, now today we're going to make an awesome entree, but talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you make right here in the restaurant.
We make a lot of things here in the restaurant. We make our own bread, we make all of our own pasta, raviolis, we make gnocchi, we smoke our own fish, we smoke meats, we make our own bacon. We do almost everything in the house. We make all of our own stock. Something that you don't see everywhere. Not everybody takes that kind of time, and it's one of the things that I think makes us unique.
Very good. I'm excited about that because a lot of times you go to restaurants and everything is from a jar or a can.
No, I'm not here. Everything's made in house.
So you can get real home cooked food.
Absolutely.
Here. Okay, very good.
Real Italian food.
Very good. So what are we going to make today?
We're going to make seafood risotto. We're going to take the stigma away from risotto. Risotto is not as difficult as everybody thinks it is.
Okay.
People are afraid of it. Risotto is a dish. It's not a rice. Use arborio. Use arborio rice.
Okay.
Arborio is a short grain, Italian rice, very starchy. That's what gives it the creaminess.
Okay.
When you see it in a dish, people think you add a lot of cream to it. That's just the starch. You have to stir it, and the starch comes off it, and that's what makes it risotto.
Okay.
Ours that we do at the restaurant we're very successful with. We sell quite a bit of it. We do a seafood risotto with bay scallops and shrimp. Okay. We do fennel, tomatoes, and our house-made bacon. It's a very popular dish here, and I think this is something that we're going to keep for a little while.
It's interesting that you said risotto is not, it's the dish and it's not necessarily just the rice.
Right.
A lot of people think it's just the rice, and so you got to go buy some risotto rice in the grocery store. It says risotto on it.
It says it's arborio rice.
Okay.
And you can people do different things risotto style. They might do lentils or potatoes. Okay. They call it risotto. It's a play on the classic dish.
Okay. Let's get started.
All right.
Okay, Chef Steve, so your pan's getting hot for the risotto?
Yes, it is.
What do we do from here?
Again, same technique as far as having hot pans. Nothing sticks when you have a hot pan. Now we're going to be putting some bacon into this pan first and cooking that first. So we're going to use not as much oil as you'd think we would, because the bacon will release oil. And again, this bacon, as we make it in-house here at Angelina's.
Okay. And it's so perfect. How does it not like pop everywhere?
It's very low moisture.
Okay.
You know, when we make the bacon, this is pepper cured bacon, so there's really no liquid on it, so it's not going to pop.
So that's the key.
Yep. You can see it's starting to get caramelized on the outside. You can smell that peppery smell.
It smells awesome.
Now we're going to add the fennel, because it'll take almost as long as the bacon to cook.
Okay. Love the flavor of that.
Going to add a little oil. You got to remember, when you're cooking, you can always add, but once it's in there, you can't take it out. So moderation is the key. If you need to add a little bit, there's nothing wrong with that.
That looks good right there.
So this will take a couple minutes to cook. I'm guessing this takes maybe 4 minutes. This is the longest part of the whole dish right here.
Okay.
Cooking the fennel. At the restaurant, the way we speed it up is we have the fennel already sautéed. Okay. And we cook it partially. We roast it in the oven partially, so that it's about halfway cooked. When we get to this point, it speeds the whole process up.
What are some other things that you can add to the risotto if you didn't use bacon?
Oh, you could put anything. Risotto is a very versatile dish. Risotto is a staple of Northern Italian cooking, and you can do any kind of seafood or any kind of vegetables or chicken. And you can get very imaginative with the risotto.
I'll tell you, it's a very hearty dish.
Sure, it sure is. So you have to be careful with your portion size because it might not look like a lot, but when it gets into your stomach, it fills you up pretty well.
Very good, very good.
So there we go. So we're cooking in stages here. We're putting in the things that take the longest to cook first and working our way down. Okay? So the next thing that we're going to cook is we're going to put the shrimp in. The shrimp will pick up that flavor from the bacon really well.
Okay. Looks great.
Next thing in will be the bay scallops. Any size scallop or shrimp will do. This just happens to be what we do here at the restaurant. But if you had larger shrimp or larger scallops, that would be fine.
I like the fact that those are small so that you don't have a mouthful of scallops.
Sure, they fit on the spoon really well.
Yeah.
And one of the things we do here at the restaurant is we take the tails off all of our shrimp, so that when you're eating it, you don't get you don't get the little crunchies.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit, and what we're going to do now is we're going to add stock. Okay, this is a seafood stock. We use a seafood stock because we're doing a seafood dish. Okay. If we were doing a chicken dish, we would add chicken stock.
Okay. And that's the arborio?
This is arborio rice that we have cooked into, turned it into risotto by the way we're cooking it.
Okay. Now, what about the ratio of rice to the other ingredients? Does it matter?
No, it's your personal preference. That's the beautiful thing about cooking is there's no rules.
Good.
You can do what makes you feel good. So what makes risotto creamy is the starch that comes off of the short grain rice. It's very starchy. So yeah, you'll see it right in the pan. It starts to thicken up right in here.
It almost looks like cornstarch is in there.
Yep, it almost does. And so what you have to do is you have to keep stirring it. That'll release the starch.
Okay.
Now there's no set ratio for the liquid to the rice or the liquid to the ingredients. So you have to kind of play it by ear.
As long as it's not soupy.
Right. I see we're going to need a little bit more.
Okay. It is thickening up so quickly.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, add a little bit at a time. When you make risotto, you have to keep your stock hot.
Okay.
You add hot stock to the hot rice so you don't bring the temperature down and it continues to cook. Okay?
Now, one of the things I've seen before at different restaurants is when they make the risotto, it's like a clump.
No,
huge clump.
not ours.
Not yours. Right?
Not ours. We pride ourselves on the fact that we do a very nice risotto here.
Okay.
And we make it so that it's we keep it so it's viscous enough so that it's not a clump of starch.
Okay. Now, when that clump happens, is it because they didn't put enough liquid, like you said, into it, or
cooked it too long? If you cook it too long, all the rice, you'll see here, all the rice is separate. It's all separated. If you cook it too long, the rice mashes together.
Okay.
So we're almost at the finishing stages here with this risotto.
Little bits at a time.
Yep, little bit at a time. Again, you can always add more, but you can't take it out once you have it in there, and that goes for everything with cooking. You can always add more. We add a little bit of crushed red pepper flake.
Yum, yum. And a lot more if you like it spicy, right?
Spicy as you'd like it. Some salt and pepper. You always add your salt and pepper at the end because if you add it in the beginning, especially in a dish like this where you're doing a reduction, when you're reducing it, if you add it in the beginning, it tends to magnify the saltiness of the dish. So you add it at the very end.
We like butter.
We like butter too. Butter's good. We add a little bit of butter at the end. When you get to the end, this is when I know we're gonna turn the heat off. We had butter. We don't cook it on the flame anymore once you put the butter.
Okay.
Not only does the butter add sheen, but the butter helps bring the whole dish together.
Not to mention the awesome flavor.
Oh, butter is good. Okay, so we've got the finished dish. See how easy that was? We got the finished dish right here.
It almost looks like a Cajun jambalaya.
Sure does. Sure does. And you could put jambalaya, the ingredients for jambalaya, in here very easily, and it would work just as well.
Yeah.
Now to finish the dish, all we're going to do here is we have some shredded Parmesan cheese. Parmesan makes everything taste better.
Yes, it does.
And we're going to sprinkle some chives on it. And there we go.
That's beautiful.
Very simple.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Chester.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
We thank you for letting us come into Angelina's Italian Bistro, and we will be back to eat here very, very soon.
Well, we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you.